Okay guys, let's see what we can do with Affinity Photo version 3 and the trace option. What we want to end up with are SVG files, because SVG files are scalable across nearly any size. Now what you can see here, I've got an image, it's not quite black and white. There's a bit of grayscale in there as well, which doesn't translate to SVG, but we'll see how it deals with that. I've duplicated it there and I've already done the selection there. Now why I've done a selection, because if you try and trace this image, you'll end up with a heck of a mess and about a gazillion layers in your SVG file that you won't be able to deal with. What you want, you can separate those out and deal with them individually if you like. What we want is the girl in the middle there, and that's what we've done. I've separated her out. Now if I take that layer and hide it, there's the girl separated out. This is Affinity Photo version 3, Affinity Designer version 3. Why am I saying photo when I mean designer? Affinity Designer version 3. Too many options here. I'm using designer. You can see I've changed it from the Affinity Studio. I've changed it to designer, photo and publisher. They're the things I work with. I don't know why they renamed them, because they don't make any sense to me. So I've renamed them back to what I want. Okay, enough politics. What we've got there is our image. We've then saved it as an SVG, and you can see it's SVG because it's got all of the little layers in it that are. There's another one. That's a PNG file, which is easy to deal with. You don't have to trace that one out. You don't have to select that one out with a selection brush tool. That one there is done with a selection brush tool. You can see that girl there. Now, it's not a pure SVG yet. You can see that, because what you end up with there is just that. So it's that image there. You put in a separate file and trace it. Go up to vector, and in there somewhere, image traced. Now that's not a PNG image, so I can't trace it. It's already a traced image, but that's okay. What we can do with this one, because there's no background to that image, that is the image. That's the PNG image, and I simply went to there to vector and image trace, and ended up with the SVG there. Now, there's the SVG. See those ones there? That's the white background. So I've just turned those off. And the whole lot's in a group. But there's all the layers. There's all the curves that are in that file. And they're all there. So you can now colour them, select each one and colour them, do what you like with it. Now, when it generated it, it's made it just a little bit too big, but you can fiddle around with that. Now, obviously, I generated these in Midjourney. Now, there's a whole bunch of them in my Midjourney archive. There's lots there. There's that girl there. Now, the prompt that I generated that with is there. Superhero, female, full body, wielding a sword in a Japanese city, manga style, colouring book, pencil, vector art. That tells it how to draw it. There's no background. But this one with the city, full body superhero, male, wielding swords, fighting a single bandit in a Japanese city, manga style. So it's put the city in. Now, as I said, if you try and trace that, you'll end up with a heck of a mess. It'll do it. Don't try and separate it out, though. And finding individual bits to colour will be a real problem. So I would encourage you to put that into your Affinity Designer and select that one out there. Very easy to do. Then if you want to do the others, you select those out and make individual layers out of them. Now, I'm showing you how to do that because that's really easy. We don't want to mess with Midjourney, so you can take on Midjourney or just about any AI image generator you like will generate these. Now they're in the Midjourney archive that I've got. Now I've got, as you can see, I'm only halfway down the scroll bar there. All sorts of images. Battle comics. Now it's showing most of the sword ones because I've got search on and they're just SW. Because if I have a look at that, female hero full body with sword, and you can see that one, it's mostly just a very plain one. That'll be hard to separate out, that one, but you could do it. But the word sword is in there, so the search engines picked it up. Now, people are going frantic over people using AI. But you know how long it would take to draw that? My drawing skills are zip. And I'm too old to be bothered learning to do it. So I'm using AI as a tool. This is not my work, obviously. It's just a tool. And you can get colour or black and white. There's a reason I've got those there. And it's all done with prompts. If you put that, a hero female full body wielding a sword in a Japanese setting, manga style pencil art, will produce not that image, but something very like it. It's really difficult to reproduce images in Midjourney. And I'm not concerned with teaching you that here because this is not a lesson on Midjourney. So let's hide Midjourney for the time being. What I've done was, in my archive, I've downloaded lots and lots of these images that are generated so that they're not online anymore. You can see I've got lots of images saved in here. Discord images, black and white people, random black and white people, and there's lots of little odd things there. These are very easy to do in Midjourney. Okay, so what I did was put them all in here. And now there's one there that's nice. And you can, because it's a file, it's a PNG file, you can just drag it into Affinity Designer, something like that. Something like that. Now there's the original. Let's turn the original back on. There she is. Now you can see I've just separated that image out of the main background image. And that's the one we're using. That one there doesn't need it. You can see, you may be able to see that's a transparent background because remember I turned off, separated out those layers and turned them off. If I turn them on again, it's just a little bit over to the side there. There we go. Turn them on. Now we've got a pure white background again. I don't want that. I want to turn them off. And away they go. Now that's how easy it is to get your images on there. Let's see if we can do one. What I'll do is we'll go to there. I'll open with Affinity. And there it is there, a hero female full size, that's background image. Now remember I said we're in Affinity Designer V3. Okay, so now we've had a look at the big picture. Images, what you can do with them, where you can find them, and the steps to get there. Let's have a look at how we actually do it. Now I've just started this one, and you can see that I've got, here's the selection brush tool. Now if you can't find it on your interface, go to here, the three dots just below it, Customise Tools, and you'll find all the tools that you can't see on there, and you can add them into your toolbar. So we'll just close that. I've got the selection brush tool there. I've got the width set to 40 pixels. Now we just want the girl. Oops, sorry. It's in add mode because that's what we want. "40" might be a little wide because you can see it's actually grabbing quite a lot of the image, but we might get away with it in this one. There we go, down there. Now we're up here on the face. Now what I'll do is reduce that down to about 8 pixels, the width of the brush, because I want to get up the sword here. I might need to go a little bit smaller because we want to make sure we get that sword. So I'll reduce that down to, I think 4 might be a good size up there. Yes, very carefully up to the point. That's got the point. Now we've got this, you can see the crosshairs there. Just bring the crosshairs down. Now this is taking a moment, but that's all right because we want to get this right. Now there's a little bit of a dip there. We might be able to straighten that up. There it is. Now we go down the wristband and you can see there's little bits there and around the hand. Now there's a gap in the hand there that we're going to have to fix up in a moment. Up the side there. There's a gap there which we want. Now we've got 4 pixels in width. Let's go out along the hair there. Just clip that. We'll pick up most of that in the refine option shortly when we get to that. I'm just getting a few bits there, a few bits of hair there. Hair is really difficult to get selected. That'll do for the moment, I think. Now we've got to bring this band here down around her arm. Down the arm there, and you can see that's coming out nicely there. Down to a hand and around the sword hilt. There's a bit on the wrist there. That's not too bad. Now we've got to there we go, we moved that section there. I think that's pretty good for the moment. We might pick up some more when we go to refine it. And the reason we're doing that, remember, is because we don't want to convert all these buildings to curves because it'll be too difficult to deal with. So let's go to refine. There we go. Now you can see her hair there. I think that's probably as good as we're going to get the hair. There are ways of doing that, of actually getting the hair really well placed, but it's another story and we don't want to be doing that just now. Now there's a gap there. We've got a bit of red in that. And we've got a bit of red in that. That's all we want really for the time being. She's fairly well picked out. The sword point's good, the handle. Okay, now remember, if you watch the other ones, we want this as a separate layer. New decontaminated layer with mask. I don't know what that's all about. This is the Affinity programmers have done something here, but this will separate that into its own layer with mask. Let's apply that. And there she is, nicely separated out, clear background, and we've even managed to get the hair. Very good. Now you can see that here. There she is there. Look at that. Now we don't want the background, which is there, and we can turn that back on, and there's the background. Turn the background off because all we want is that one there. Now we go up here. What we've got to do is take the file, export the file as an SVG. Now we're on digital high quality. Just leave all that for the time being. I'll export that to pictures. I'll call it SVG1. There's the file there, because in the export option I said show me the file. Now there's the file. It thinks it's an SVG file. Let's open that with Affinity. And it opens it in Affinity Designer. There's SVG1. It's image 1. Let's see if we can trace that now without any problems. Vector, image trace. Just leave everything there, the defaults. Let's apply it. Now you can see it's taken out a gap there. It doesn't do shades really well, but you can fill that in yourself. Now there's all of your curves. You can put that there. Or what I like to do is, because I'll be doing other things with this file, just take that down, right down to the bottom. Shift key down, select the lot, right click and create a group. Now there's a nice little group of image 1. Girl with sword. Now your image trace, you can solve these problems of missing hair and things like that by carefully arranging the options that you've got in trace. But that's not too bad. For a quick effort, that's all you need. Now you've got a pure SVG file, which you can enlarge, do what you like with. And she fits neatly in that square. There's the original. That's the cutout file. Couldn't be nicer. I'm a bit annoyed that I've lost the hair there, but that's all right. That's a function of the art of tracing. And we'll come back to that perhaps in another episode. Okay, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, tell your friends, and have a go at image tracing yourself.